Da 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 da. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Ace's Place 22, where I'm Ace, and this is my place 22. I'll do a story on. I don't think I've ever explained why I picked 22 in my handle for Ace's Place, but we'll discuss that at some point. But who cares? Welcome back to another installment of Ace's Thrills and Chills movie reviews. Night number 29. I keep saying it, but it keeps getting more and more sad. Oh, there's only 2 days after this left. Let's make it count. I know the kid should have a parade at her school for Halloween. If I can record that, I would like to do that and throw that on the channel. I want to do my Ace in the Hole, the Dirty 30 on the 31st. Live show. I'm trying to think of shit as I'm trying to... Let's just talk about movies. Let's just talk about the movies. Here we are. We're going to go through the 3 that we have either watched some of, or we're going to watch the rest of tonight. And by we're, I mean the kid and I, in case you're new to the channel. And if that's the truth, like and subscribe. This is one weird way to start the video. But let's just get into it, right? Usually I talk about whatever movies I've watched or the media I've consumed for the day of, whatever day it is. And I explain and go through and talk about it. And then, like, let's say we're talking about movies. I would pick one of these movies and do a spoiler review of it. I've kind of lost focus of that, and I just kind of do an actual, like, little review of all the movies as I'm going. So let's keep it going. You got it. I actually have it in right now. I'm watching it as we speak. And that is 2001's Joyride. That is, yeah, I pointed to the right one. That's what I was looking at. Right here. This is a 2-pack. It's got Joyride 2 in it. I've seen it maybe once in my entire life. It's not a movie I ever go to for spooky season. But, right here, Joyride, the original one, it is not a movie that a lot of people talk about. I never, ever hear of it in the horror movie community, you know, top 50, whatever list. I think it's truly one of the best horror thrillers that has come out, or that came out in the early 2000s. I mean, you had like Wrong Turn, the Hostel movies, Saw. So I mean, there was quite a few of like the gory stuff. But this one right here is really good. You've got Paul Walker, which, rest in peace, Paul Walker. I was a big fan of him. Too Fast, Too Furious. It's a masterpiece. I don't care what anybody says. You got Steve Vaughn. Or no, not Steve Vaughn. Steve Zahn? Is that not how you pronounce his last name? Steve Zahn, yeah. Pretty funny guy. Blue Streak, I think, was the movie. Or, no. National Security with Martin Lawrence is a pretty damn funny movie with him in it. And he's in Daddy Daycare with Eddie Murphy. Great freaking kids movie. I don't give a damn. Awesome movie. And then you've got Phoebe Zoe or some crap like that. Lily Sobieski. I don't know her from really much of anything else. It's this chick right here. She's a pretty good looking broad. That probably isn't appropriate to call her a broad, but I did. Awesome movie. And it's just centers around these, well, him, Paul Walker's character, going to meet up with the chick because he wants to get a little, you know? So he lies to her, says he has a car. He goes, buys this really awesome car. On his way to go meet her, gets a call from his sister saying that his brother has been, arrested or whatever. So he turns tail, goes back, picks his brother up, which is Steve Zahn's character. And they are two different dynamics, but they also mesh very well together. I like the chemistry that Steve Zahn and Paul Walker have in this film. And as, just typical brother shenanigans is going on. They pick up a CB radio, put it in the car, and start kind of messing with truckers. Not in a horrible, mean way, but just in like a, practical joke, tease you kind of way. They stop in at a rest stop, and one of the brothers has altercation with a individual that is also staying at this not a rest stop, I'm sorry, but like a hotel, motel. They kind of bump into each other, sets off a chain of events of the two brothers being like, hey, let's get Rusty Nail, which is one of the truckers they mess with. Let's get him to come over here and think he's hooking up with this chick, and he's actually gonna, mess with the guy in the room next door that was a jerk. And they do that, and then unfortunately that guy that had an altercation with him earlier has a pretty brutal fate. I don't want to spoil anything, but he has a pretty brutal fate, and it just sets off a chain of events where these two brothers and then eventually the girl become ensnared in the truckers' game of don't you fuck with me, boys and girls. Really good stuff. I think it's creepy. I think it's really cool once it starts to get into like the horror thriller elements of it. It's one of those movies, and I thought this as soon as I put it in and I started watching it. Every time I watch it, you lose yourself in the idea that this is going to be a horror thriller movie, because the chemistry with the brothers, the writing, which is written by J.J. Abrams, I never ever caught on to that, right? Like, never ever caught on to J.J. Abrams until, honestly, like Star Trek and then Star Wars. So this was, I think, produced by Bad Robot, the first one. Awesome movie. I'm just going into it. It's an awesome movie, and check it out. The one tie-in, though, I want to mention is it has Ted Levine, I believe that's his name, as the voice for Rusty Nail, which just adds that creepy element to it. And how is that a tie-in? Why is that a tie-in? Because the next one up is Silence of the Lambs. This is a pretty good movie. I definitely buy into this is a psychological thriller. You can call it horror, because if you were the person put in the hole, this would be pretty horrific. I'm going to look. Yeah, it's Ted Levine, because Ted Levine is in this as Buffalo Bill. This really fucked up guy. I can't do his voice. It's probably going to sound weird. I'm never going to listen to that on playback. But you got Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins, Scott Glenn, Ted Levine. I think he should have had top billing too, because he is the main serial killer. But you've got Anthony Hopkins playing Hannibal Lecter, which is one of horror movie icons' most iconic horror movie characters, is Hannibal Lecter from this, Red Dragon, Hannibal itself. And it's Anthony Hopkins. He's fantastic. And actually, I just saw, for Silence of the Lambs, the new NECA Ultimate action figure of Hannibal Lecter in his all-white, crazy person suit. And if anybody that's watching this collects the NECA figures, why is his figure the only one that's not posable? His is like always in a statue. He's got like a pose like this. His other one, he's in a straitjacket. Can anybody answer me that? But the movie, really good. Centers around Jodie Foster, who is a police officer, detective, and they are hunting down, they as in the police, are hunting down a serial killer, Buffalo Bob. And she gets, a little too close for comfort in some of these scenes with him, especially at the end, which is a really good suspense thriller ending where, I'm not going to really spoil it, but you have one group of people going into one situation thinking this is it, all the while this situation is going on over here. I like that. I really, really like that a lot, because it ties in very well. The director is Jonathan Demme? Not really sure. Great. This is a great movie. There's absolutely really nothing wrong with this movie. It's been parodied to death in so many other movies, but that just means to me it is a chef's kiss. and now Anthony Hopkins plays into this, is he is also a serial killer that has been captured. So Jodie Foster goes to him with hopes that he will help her lead, that he will help her get led to Buffalo Bob, the serial killer. Right, Buffalo Bob? Or is it Buffalo Bill? I think Buffalo Bob is in Joe Dirt. I think that's the one I keep saying. But Buffalo Bill. For the life of me, I can't remember now because I'm brain dead. But Buffalo Bill, awesome flick. And at the end of it, it sets off, again, a chain of events leading into a trilogy of these movies. I believe it's just a trilogy. There's Hannibal Rising, which is a prequel to all of it. I think I have it. But up next is my ultimate, my favorite, my uno numero number one fucking werewolf movie of all time. And that's Stephen King's Silver Bullet. I freaking love this movie. Corey Haim, Gary Busey, other people, I don't remember their names, but this is my favorite werewolf movie because it truly was one of the first movies that ever scared me. Absolutely put fear into my heart as if I thought werewolves were real and I would die if I let them around me or what have you. I first saw this movie when I was really little, from, I would say like 5, probably the earliest memory of that. From 5 all the way up to like 15, my dad, my grandfathers, and my uncles, they had a hunting camp way, way up north of where we live, up in the woods. And I was there all the time. My grandparents would go up there all the time. Family barbecues. It was a really great place, but it was very far away and very, very deep in the woods. And I mean hours. You would be driving hours into the woods. And again, that's because my family were a big group of hunters, and there was a lot of terrain out that way to get yourself some deers. So, and there were maybe like 5 houses from like where the town stopped to where our camp was. Like maybe 5 houses. And they were all in this one little nook, this one little spot. And my dad knew all 5 people that lived there. Jimbo, Brucey, and then the other people. I'm not really familiar with them. But I remember those 2. I remember Jimbo had drum sets, and I would go over there and play drums when I was a kid. Brucey had crazy guns, and we would go over there and shoot, like, he had AK-47s and just all sorts of shit. These, like, Uzis. I remember having an Uzi with a clip on it like this long, and we're just out in the backwoods just going ham with this shit, man. And nobody's out there. Like, nobody would ever tell us to stop. I have to set the stage, and that's the environment. I mean, you were away. So we were at one of their houses. I can't remember which one particularly, but this movie, my dad and all his friends were drinking and doing what have you, and this movie was on TV. Now, in the 90s, you're watching a boob tube TV. It's grainy resolution, shit audio. It made the moment, right? So I'm watching this movie, and start to finish, I'm just glued into it, and I'm like, this is so scary. This is so scary. I don't even know when this came out, honestly. 1985. All right, so this came out 5 years before I was born, and I watched it at least when I was between 5 and 7. So let's just put a stamp on it and say 6, right? When the scariest scene to me in this movie is, well, I don't even know if I want to tell you the whole thing, but scariest scene to me in this is there are a group of townspeople all going out to hunt down the werewolf, or the beast, whatever it is. And they're in the woods, and it's all foggy and stuff. And now when you look at it, you can clearly tell it's like, oh, this is like a stage and blah, blah, blah. But as a kid, I was like, this is my backyard right now out here in these woods. This is creepy. And all the smoke, or all the fog is just, again, the grainy resolution of the TV is just really filling out this, like, oh, I can barely see. And then this werewolf just starts picking off these people. One by one. Just murking fools, man. Killing them. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Because you see, like, the wolf's hand like this. You see people looking around. And then the wolf's hand. And then they're dead, right? And then the next, and then the next. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. So, in that moment, my dad's like, boy, go out to the truck and get me my pack of smokes. And I'm like, oh, no, it's scary. It's like 9 o'clock at night and I'm going to die. I don't want to die. Man, it was traumatizing. I had to go out to his truck, his blue pickup, his Dakota, and get his pack of Marbreds. I was so scared that there was a werewolf under his truck, or one right behind the door when I would come back in, because I couldn't get that lucky, and it was horrifying. This movie is awesome. It's so fucking good. I don't even know how else to describe it other than just a quick little is a good. And it's really an awesome story of a kid and his uncle. The kid is crippled. He's in a wheelchair, Corey Haim, and he's kind of an outcast goofball. I really like that character a lot. The story is told through his sister's narrative, which is kind of awesome because she's not really the main character, but she is at the same time. And then you got Gary Busey, who is like the crazy drunk uncle, which I think all of us had an uncle like him, or at least we wish we had an uncle like him. Because honestly, Gary Busey, absolutely underrated actor. And in this movie, he is my favorite part about the movie is Gary Busey. But you get Corey Haim, who stumbles upon someone. I will never spoil movies unless I specifically say it, but he stumbles upon one of the townspeople's secret that they are a werewolf. And he is just hunted down the rest of the movie, and you just see werewolf shit happening here and there throughout all the movie. And that's all you need to know. And he's got an awesome wheelchair with rockets and fireworks on it, and it is as badass as it sounds. And the fucking thing is called Silver Bullet. And yes, disclaimer, the werewolf at the end of the movie, the suit, the costume, it's not fear-inducing, it's not terrifying, but at the time, it absolutely was awesome. And I still think it's awesome. It's my go-to werewolf movie. If you ever ask which werewolf flick, I will always start you off with this one because I just think it is a great story. It's a fun, acted movie. It's just awesome. And I'd like to see a remake of it, honestly, because if they stay to this, I've never read the little short story or the book of it, but if they stay close to this, and it's kind of like how the new It movie was, the first one, where it's, really isolated, the small town, quiet, it doesn't expand itself beyond, like, the lore of just someone's a werewolf. I'd be down for it. With a new costume, of course. No CGI. Please no CGI in a werewolf movie. I want full-on werewolf costumes. But that is it, folks. Those are my 3 movies that I've watched, gonna watch, will watch, have watched, won't watch, skippity-dippity, my eyes watched. I'm trying to be fun. My movies for spooky season 2025. I don't ever say that. But Aces, Thrills, and Chills movie reviews night number 29. And as my buddy Chucky would always say, friends till the end.